Honor and glory to YAHAWAH, BaHaShem, YAHAWASHI, BaHaShem, HaRakakwadash. Also want to give double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and honors to all you fellow laborers that are kicking this word in sincerity and in faith. Yahbashim Yahshai, BaHaShem, HaRakakwadash Barakatham, to all you sincere listeners. Yeah, so you're looking at a so-called black woman, which appears to be a Judite woman, and it's spiritual. What's the name of the title? It says why Chris Brown was targeted. # mute Eve, the coon accomplice. Which when you watch the video, and I'm gonna play a little bit of it, she's talking about the rapper who's now a talk show host or a co-host named Eve. She was a Rough Rider. I remember when I was younger, she was a so-called Rough Rider with DMX. You know, she was a hardcore black woman. She's all thugged out. I mean, she used to be a stripper, if I'm not mistaken. She's from Philadelphia. And come to find out, she married a red Hebrew Edomite, and now she's so-called cleaned up her act. And this sister, she did a video. This video is pretty much cursing her out. But Eve isn't just, it's spiritual, because Eve, us brothers say that to refer to you black women in general. And you really need to get muted, because what are you? The majority of y'all, you're a coon and you're accomplice to the red Hebrew Edomite. Because what does the red Hebrew Edomite seek to do? Accuse and kill and murder, I should say, his brother Jacob. Why? Because of the blessing. And so when all else fails, the red Hebrew Edomite, he blames niggas. And it works up until now. All right, so I'm gonna go back to this video. I want to play some other videos first, and I pray it's edifying.
There's another video, once again, showing just some white supremacists acting a plumb fool, and they just then lost all civility, which is good, because they should be out in the open. They should say exactly how they feel. I encourage that, because black folks need to wake up anyway. Well, let's go ahead and roll this clip. Now, this one is out of Florida. Now, Florida has a lot of racial incidents I'm noticing here. Every week, something's going on out that state, but check this out.
You just called me a nigger. 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 Don't give a fuck, nigger. I got you on camera. World star. You're getting fired.
Get out of my
getting fired. Don't touch me. You're getting fired. You're getting fired. You're getting fired. And you're getting fired. You're getting fired. You want to get fucked up? I will fuck you up, you fucking nigger. You're getting fired and fired. You're getting fired. You're getting fired. You're getting fired. 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 You're getting fired. You get fired too, because you're a manager. You're supposed to handle this differently. You're getting fired. And you get fired too. You're getting fired because
You heard that? She straight up lied. She blamed the black man. All right, the red Hebrew Edomite chipped out, disrespected him. But who does she blame? She blames the so-called Negro. She blamed Judah.
We on camera. We on camera. You're getting fired.
Now, the franchise owner of that McDonald's did fire the guy that was saying the racial slurs, but they did not mention if the other two women were fired. Now, outside of him on his white supremacist tirade, you had that person calling the police, and she straight up lied. She said that he stated that he wanted to kill her manager. You see how she straight lied on the brother? Now, she was trying to call in his murder, because all she has to say is black male trying to kill a white person, and the police about to come there with a big squad of them. All of them drawing guns, hoping this dude just look at them funny so they can unload on him.
That's right.
That's what they like to do. They always add to something that what a black person is possibly doing. They're not saying that what happened with this employee and with the words he's using. She's not talking about that. She's just trying to make up things so the police can come there amped up. But we just constantly seeing this all the time with these racism incidents. And when you see this, a lot of black people always still asking questions about it. What's wrong with them? Why are they so hateful? Why they act like this and that and the third? My response is we have to stop asking those questions.
Right. Yeah, you bugged out if you asking that. He's doing that because he's the devil. It's plain, simple. The red Hebrew Edomite acts like that because he's the devil the Bible speaks of. All right, I'm going to get a precept. This is the book of Psalms 58:2. Yea, in heart you work wickedness. Yeah, that's the red Hebrew Edomite. He works wickedness. You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Yeah, and all the red Hebrew Edomite does is spread violence and homosexuality, which that's what that dude was. He was a straight up sissy boy, violent as hell, just like the big ass former QB, former high school quarterback, that 6'4", 210 red Hebrew Edomite with a deep voice that said that he was clearly a woman. What did he do? He started kicking boxes, kicking everything, asked him to go outside. That's the spirit of the red Hebrew Edomite, man. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Yeah, that's the spirit of the red Hebrew Edomite. To lie and to accuse and to blame the so-called black man. Okay, like I said, the name of the lesson, blaming niggas has always worked when all else fails until now. Hey, because there's a saying in the world, you're going to the well one too many times, which means what? The same excuse. You're going to the same, you're falling back on the same thing. You see? That's what that saying means, or that idiom, I should say, means. So you've done that continually, but guess what, man? That's played out. Blaming niggas is played out, man. Now is the time to blame you, you red Hebrew Edomites. And it's in them. Oh, it's in them, not on them. And just like the spirit of righteousness is in us and not on us, the spirit of wickedness is in you red Hebrew Edomites. That's why you damn red Hebrew Edomites do what you do, because that's who you are. It's in you. Well, right here, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. You see? So it's in the red Hebrew Edomite to cause mischief and then turn around and blame it on you, to project, which I'm probably gonna have to run that definition back. That's a very heavy definition. Now I'm gonna get this video, which we've all seen this. Here it is.
If you're like the majority,
gotta get them ads, man. My man Advice Show, he on his hustle.
There was many videos I've made, and I've talked about racism and white supremacy. And I've spoke about how racism is taught in the household. Because if you teach it in the household, then that's how it continues. So there's a video that came out that's been going viral. It's everywhere right now. This video is actually out of the UK, and it's of a mother talking to her child about some cookies. Now I want you to hear just a short exchange, and it's going to prove exactly everything I've ever stated. Let's roll the clip.
Where are they gone?
you don't know. So who ate them all?
Someone come around and they just ate them all.
Someone come around and ate the cakes?
Yeah.
So someone broke into a home and ate Mr. Kipling's Angel Slices. Didn't take the TV, didn't take, some jewellery. They took these cakes.
and it was a black man.
Oh, look at her face. There's a little. You can tell that's a little. That's a
No.
little devil right there. Look. Look at that. Look at that mischievous look.
Really,
Because that's in her. That's in the red Hebrew Edomite. To do what? To blame the black man. Hey, when all else fails, hey, just blame niggas. Oh, the nigga did it. But it don't work no more, man. Everybody see as you. All right, you red Hebrew Edomite. Yet the serpent and Eve, all right, you red Hebrew Edomites, you men, women, and children, starting with your man, and then Eve, you so-called black woman, you still trying, but it's not working. Well, look, I got another example. All right, this man, Kareem Hunt, which he pushed some red Hebrew Edomite woman. He kind of like ran through her, you know, or I think he might have pushed another man into her. It wasn't that serious, but allegedly, you know, she was calling him all types of names, being disrespectful. I believe she was underage, and he was like, hey, "Look, you got to get out. You got to get out of here," you know, because then that would have been a bad reflection on him. Got some chick up in your room, turning up. You a football player, a Jake football player at that. And so she was being disrespectful, and he kind of flashed on her. Now, look who's blaming him. Look, it always happens. Serpent and Eve, man. Oh, look who she's with. Look who she's with.
Disappointed because I think that this is another.
To get another chance in the National Football League, what was the first way it made you feel?
Initially, just disappointed because I think that this is another example of treating domestic violence or the mistreatment of women as a character flaw that can basically be cured. I mean, we're not talking about abusing PEDs. We're not talking about drug abuse where you're only hurting yourself. We're talking about whether or not women feel protected. Think about how difficult it is for a victim to come forward and say, hey, this happened to me. There's video evidence in this situation. And still, you know, the Browns have decided that we can rehabilitate this person back. At what point is there a zero tolerance for a situation like that?
You hear? She wants zero tolerance for Jake. You can't rehab him. So what does she think needs to be done with Jake? In her mind, she wants you to get put to death. She want Esau to do it. You can look at her, you can tell she's the devil, man. Mute Eve, hashtag mute Eve.
At what point do you draw the line in the sand and say, this is the one thing that we will not allow in my program, in our league? I hope that there was someone.
Hey, so out of all the wickedness going on in the world, this is like the one thing you can't allow. All right, the red Hebrew Edomite, he's going around indiscriminately shooting up people. All right, he's a drug dealer, molesting children. Oh, and then the cops that you call, guess what? It came out, there's a few studies, that domestic abuse within the police community is 2 to 4 times above the national average. Why ain't nobody hashtagging me too with that shit, man? Because you want to blame the black man. When all else fails, blame niggas. But that's played out. That's muted. That's canceled.
On the Browns organization that said, I don't necessarily think this is a good idea. I hope there's one person, but we've seen it before. We've seen it with Joe Mixon. We've seen it with Reuben Foster. We've seen it happen with Ezekiel Elliott where...
Wait, she's mentioning nothing but so-called black men, which there's a gang of red Hebrew Edomites in the NFL who've been accused of the same thing, but they're actually like beating their wives, beating the brakes off of them, sending them to the hospital. She ain't about to mention them. Why? Because it's all about blaming niggas.
There's a situation that has arisen, and for one reason or another, the decision was made that a business decision is more important than protecting women or deciding to make a stance to make sure that everyone understands that this is absolutely unacceptable. So disappointment is what I'm going to stick with.
Look, the serpent right up there with Eve, man. You see? Oh, and Jake is like, look, I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of being blamed. Now, this is Antonio Brown, which he's one of the top wide receivers, and I believe he's from Miami. Real humble beginnings in the fact that he didn't even get drafted in one of those higher rounds. I think he got drafted in the 6th or 7th round. But he's risen to prominence. and he wants to leave the team that he's with, which is Pittsburgh, the Steelers. And look what he says, though. Agent Drew Rosenhaus, a so-called Jew, told ESPN on January 25th he had spoken to the Steelers to express Brown's position, but wouldn't divulge details. A source close to Brown believes the wideout is tired of playing the scapegoat for the Steelers' problems and wants to show he can thrive in another offense. Yeah, so what's happening? They're blaming him. He the problem, man. That dude Ben Roethlisberger. Ain't nobody bring him up. He didn't got accused of raping and beating up women multiple times. He's the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You notice she ain't bring him up. He's doing the most, man. He got accused 2 or 3 times, but they ain't. And then they did an interview with him, and everybody knew that he was full of shit. That he was guilty. He was lying. But that gets swept up under the rug. But look, man, Jake. See, this is all spiritual. Hey, because the spirit will have it. I'll start putting together a lesson. I'll see one thing, and then everything I see afterward just ties completely in. And look, I'm looking at different things. I'm looking at sports, politics, race relations, whoop-de-whoop, and it all ties in. It's all the spirit, the YAHAWASHI. A source close to Brown believes the wideout is tired of playing the scapegoat, man. Jake tired of that shit, man. And most people are tired of it because they see that what is Jake really doing, man? And everybody sees the hypocrisy, the double standards, and the concentration on Jake playing the scapegoat for the Steelers' problems and wants to show he can thrive in another offense. Yeah, he's like, well, look, I'll go somewhere else. So that way, what? You don't blame me. Because again, that's the spirit of the red Hebrew Edomite. And he got Eve right there with him. Oh, and this guy right here, Virginia Lieutenant Governor accusers say they will testify if state has impeachment proceedings. So the red Hebrew Edomite, what was his last name? Northam, I think. He got caught being in blackface, but then he said it wasn't him. This is the red Hebrew Edomite for you. So he got there's the dude in blackface, and next to him, it's a dude in a KKK outfit. And it's clearly him on the left. You can clearly see that it's him. Got the same build. They're standing the same. But he said, oh, you know what? That was me, but I learned from it. And then he came back the next day. He pump faked on everybody and said, well, you know what? I've done that before, but that wasn't me in that particular time. Oh, and what do you know? The lieutenant governor is a Jake. You looking at him, Justin Fairfax. And now, since the governor, so if the governor steps down, who steps up? The lieutenant governor, which would be him. But Esau ain't trying to have that happen. So now he didn't just discover some ghetto gaggers from 15, 20 years ago, and now he raped him. But just blame niggas. See, and now they're trying to have it. They don't even talk about him. They just talk about Jake. When all else fails, just blame Jake. But guess what? More and more is coming out on you red Hebrew Edomites. So yeah, he's in the news right now, right? For some shit he through the spirit he ain't even do. All right, probably got some head, hit it. It was probably turning up, and then she woke up and felt like a hoe. Like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. Oh, but really, he took advantage of me. The whole time she probably rode up on him, was rubbing on him. Hey, 'cause I didn't experience this. But before I came into this truth, I'll be out downtown, and I'll see a chick from school, and she'll like one chick in particular, she straight up like rolled up on me and just grabbed my shit. But then on Monday, she was all awkward. She's looking all bugged out. Oh, and what nationality do you think she was? She was a Hebrew Israelite. Just blame Jake. Corn syrup.
Coors Light. Your corn syrup was delivered to us by mistake.
Oh, there it is. And just in time, we were running low. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bud Light, 100% less corn syrup than Coors Light.
Yeah, right. Esau ain't no king.
The fate of Virginia's 3 most powerful politicians is in...
Oh, shit, it's a lot. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
The balance this morning, but it's the lieutenant governor who's feeling the most heat, with the accused and the accusers trading denials and allegations.
You see, he the one that's in the most heat. Why? Because he a Jake.
Overnight. Justin Fairfax says he won't resign. Instead, he's doubling down on his claims of innocence, saying that the interactions in question were consensual. But one Democratic Virginia state legislator says he's pushing to impeach Fairfax, and the women accusing him now say they'd be willing to testify in any impeachment proceedings. Embattled Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax this morning, flatly denying separate allegations of rape and sexual assault, now calling for a full investigation. In a new statement, writing, "I say again without reservation, I did not sexually assault or rape Meredith Watson, Vanessa Tyson, or anyone else," adding, "I call on all appropriate and impartial investigatory authorities, including the FBI, to investigate fully and thoroughly the allegations against me by Ms. Watson and Dr. Tyson. I ask that all three of us be respected during this process." An attorney for Watson responding late Saturday saying there was nothing consensual about the rape. The lieutenant governor is facing a chorus of calls from prominent Democrats insisting he resign. The former governor, congressional Democrats, and Democratic lawmakers in the Virginia State House. Democratic presidential candidates, too.
I just believe it's time for him to step down, to resign.
After Meredith Watson came forward Friday, claiming Fairfax raped her when they were both students at Duke University in 2000. That charge coming days after Dr. Vanessa Tyson accused Fairfax of sexually assaulting her in 2004. Attorneys for Watson and Tyson now say both would be willing to testify at impeachment proceedings for Fairfax. Swept up in a separate scandal, Governor Ralph Northam.
But see, they're trying to have that come out. And look at this guy. This guy's clearly the devil, man.
Who is now telling the Washington Post he plans to spend the rest of his term pursuing racial equity, saying of his blackface controversy, "It has really raised the level of awareness for racial issues in Virginia, and so we're ready to learn from our mistakes." And a new Washington Post poll finds Virginia residents split over the Virginia governor's fate, with 47% wanting Ralph Northam to step down and 47% saying he should stay on. Northam actually finds higher support among African-American residents, 58% of whom say they want him to remain in office.
Crazy, man. Completely nuts. And who's really leading the charge? Let me see if they speak on it. Yep. The list includes former Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, Senators Cory Booker of New Jersey, Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, Kamala Harris of California, and Chris. When you go into it, is really Kamala Harris. She's like the main one. She's like the main one that's leading the charge. But she's the devil, man. All right, and she's a ghetto gagger. All right, she's married to a red Hebrew Edomite, just like Eve. Can't make this up.
This is such a shame. It's really a shame. I mean, obviously, we know he's had troubles in the past, and it's like, when are you going to stop and grow up and allow the talent to shine through and fix your brain? Like, this is ridiculous. And it's, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to hope that these allegations aren't true. Obviously, we don't know. But at the end of the day, times have changed. If you guys don't know that yet, whether in America or overseas, get your act together. Like, you can't be treating women how you want to treat them in any kind of way just because you think you're a superstar. It's just not the way to be. And I feel sad because Chris Brown is actually a really talented person. He's actually really talented, and it's just sad, man. I just really hope he gets some help. And I don't know. It's horrible. It's hard. This is a hard thing.
Hey, and then it came out that it was a bold-faced lie. He was accused. All right. And then she comes back with some half-hearted apology. No, Serpent and Eve. Look at this, man. Non-stop.
So I wanted to address what I said on the talk the other day about Chris Brown. At first I didn't think what I said was harsh, but then I looked back at it and it was kind of harsh, but it was only harsh because I'm passionate about the state of the climate that we're in right now with women and all these allegations that are coming out. My passion wasn't geared towards—
What about the allegations against the so-called black man? He's getting accused left and right. Look at her. She got that old pit bull spirit on her. You're looking at the devil, man.
Brown and these specific allegations. It's just that we were talking about him, and I think I got upset about all the other feelings that I've been feeling about this whole climate. And
yeah, got leprosy in her hair.
You know, and like I said before, I didn't know if those allegations were true or false, and they are not true. And he has been released. And, you know, in that way, I just want everybody to know, obviously, I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping that none of these things are true. But we have to talk about this kind of stuff, right? I have to have an opinion. I'm a woman. I've been through a lot of things. And, yeah, I just want to keep the conversation going. So whoever was offended, I apologize.
It's like, when are you going to stop and grow up and allow the talent to shine through?
Look, she wasn't even saying like, hey, look, I came at you wrong. She just try to like brush over it, man. Fucking demon, man. Let me see. She had another one. Yeah. Let me see if there's another one. Yeah, because everybody was on her helmet, man. Oh, look, here's her man. There you go. That's who she's with, man. Oh, really, Eve? Yeah, you see, weak ass apology. That was half-hearted, man. Damn demon. And you got this woman, she actually has some sense. And she goes into it, man.
Chris Brown got all the rights. Let me get this right, because it's the same thing that Michael Jackson and Prince went through and basically lost their lives for. Black men who were on top of their game in the music and lost their lives trying to get ownership of all the masters for their music.
Oh, and guess who else? Guess who else is getting masters to his music? 21 Savage. Now they're trying to deport him. You see?
So this is what Chris Brown accomplished in the last month or so. Is from RCA. He got all of the rights, all the masters to his music. So this is why all this is happening. This is exactly why they attacked him. They didn't even wait because, of course, these days they're not going to wait any longer because their time is running out. The Zionists, their time is up. It's not even running. It's not only running out. It's up. It's all an illusion we're living now. An illusion of their power. They have no power left. So they're just pulling all the stops. And of course, they're attacking our men. Now, I'm not going to say here, oh, Chris Brown's I'm not a fan of his or whatever. That's irrelevant. Chris Brown's a really great musician. And in terms of what he's done in the past, the circumstance, of course, with Rihanna, that is the past.
Which that was self-defense. That was self-defense. All right, he's driving. She messing with him, hitting on him. And he did what he had to do.
That has no bearing on this thing that supposedly, allegedly happened in Paris. We know it didn't happen at all. And I knew it didn't happen. Here's a man who minds his business, but all you see him posting is the love of his daughter. And I can't admire a man anymore than a man who takes care of his children. A man who stays from a black man who takes care of his children. That's his focus. And they're even trying to attack that. You know, I think she had a monkey, a pet monkey at home. A lot of white people have endangered species in their homes, crawling all over their kids, in their faces and in their beds. She was just holding the monkey in a blanket and they had to attack him on that. So just trying to attack from every possible angle.
They blame the black man. When all else fails, all right, it's a full out blitz on the red Hebrew Edomite. What happens? Him and his attack dog Eve blame it on a nigga, man. Oh, he did it. It's his fault. Oh well, the incident with the red Hebrew Edomites in DC. What did they say? Well, they were being instigated by those black Hebrew Israelites. You through, Esau. It's over. It's over.
Oh, try to call the animal rights people to get this monkey taken out of the house. When again, like I said, white people have bugs and monkeys and snakes and everything crawling all over their kids. Eve, bed wench, you know, really and seriously, there's got to be no forgiveness for coons. Woo! At all. No forgiveness whatsoever for black people who are just willingly, especially for CBS on the top, for the establishment, trying to destroy our people, trying to destroy our, you know, I mean, I've said it before, the enemy is not really the illusion that these Zionist white people have, are trying to hold over your heads anymore. It is the coons, the sellouts, the boule niggers. And I said niggers, I'm Canadian. I remember listening to Tasha K laugh at Janet, is it in Janet Hubert? Janet Hubert, because she was going in on what's his name, Will Smith, and how they screwed her over for her money. But yeah, no, I'm Canadian, so that's how we say it. And I don't mean nigga, I mean straight up. Eve is a bed wench coon nigger, and I'm so sick and tired of people like that.
That's right, man. That's right. That's right. You getting canceled. You getting muted, Eve. You gonna get muted. Oh, mute R. Kelly. Mute this person. Mute it. You gonna get muted. And that's going to be beautiful, man, when the mouths of the serpent and Eve are stopped. All right? And then it's actually going to be women like this, man. Totally in order. Oh, and look at this, right? Man sees his best friend's fiance with another man at a football game.
Pass to the ball. Pass to the ball.
Where they start bugging out.
Pass to the ball. Pass to the ball.
And yeah, I'm trying to pull up the comments.
Pass to the ball. Pass to the ball.
Yeah, because I want to pull up a comment. Bear with me.
Pass to the ball.
Man, that's Salakia.
Pass to the ball.
Yeah, but that's the spirit. We want to just play it continually, you know? That's the spirit anyways.
Pass to the ball. Pass to the ball.
Oh, man. Well, I'll give it a few more seconds. I don't find it.
Pass to the ball.
Yeah, but pretty much.
Pass to the ball.
Okay, I see this. Okay, yeah. Right. Here it goes. So she said.
Pass to the ball.
Where is she at? She said something like, "All right, well, look, how many of y'all?"
Pass to the ball.
Oh yeah, but you let your man cheat on women daily. We don't want to hear it. And this is what I said. I said, "Yep, just blame niggas. Works every time." Hey, because that's all that happens. Somebody gets exposed. Somebody does something wicked. You just go and you just blame Jake, man. And then you know what? She actually responded back to me, and she like laughed. She like did some here's the spirit. She just did some emojis. It's like a woman emoji, and she's just laughing because these women, they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, man. Oh, okay, I'm gonna just blame him. All right, I'll get out of it. Deflection. You see? Deflection and projection. And this is the look of a guilty woman, man. And then what does a woman do? That's the book of Proverbs. When things like this happen, Proverbs 30 and 20, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. Yeah, and that's the spirit that these wicked adulterous women be in. Oh, and then you know what they'll do? So if he was treating me right, I wouldn't have had to do that. Crazy, man. What are they gonna do? Blame the nigga, man. It's your fault. That's why Esau and Eve, they get along so well. Because they are not about taking responsibility for their actions. See, Esau and Eve through. All right. I got a few more. South Carolina woman arrested for lies after allegedly telling police a black man assaulted her. Look at his devil. I'm gonna just jump around. According to the state, 27-year-old Kristen Michelle Rhymes was charged with felonies that could each result in 5-year prison sentences in relation to a November 26 incident when she told authorities that a male of the Negro variety attacked her from behind and attempted what police considered to be a sexual assault. Yeah, so she tried to set Jake up, but what happened to her? Now she going to jail. Like my man on the bus said, the bus driver, he had to piece up that violent so-called black woman. He said, you going to jail now. Because what's the name of the video? Blaming niggas has always worked when all else fails until now, man. Because we not in that time no more, man. We in the time when you red Hebrew Edomites and you wicked ass woman, you paying for what you've done. Okay, you being rightfully blamed. Rhymes initially told police she had pulled into a Walmart parking lot in Columbia, South Carolina to enter an address in the GPS around 11:30 p.m. when she heard a voice say, hey, girl. But it was not an interlude from a Barry White album. It was one of the blacks. I didn't see anybody. Just heard a voice. I said I wasn't interested and I just rolled my window up. I had put my car in park and I didn't think about how my doors unlock automatically when I do that. That's when Rhymes said a man opened her car door, pulled her out, and smashed her head against the concrete. He started tugging on my pants, and I suddenly hear another guy scream, what's going on over there? And at that point, the guy took off, Rhymes explained. The man who nailed never came back. I just take it as an angel sent from God right at that time. The damn devil, man. Red Hebrew Edomite woman. In describing her assailant, Rhymes painted a picture of a typical rabid thug type to police. He was a black male, medium build, wearing a hoodie with a jacket over it. Once the story went public, guess who was blamed? Here's one comment as a spirit. When they moved the Section 8 housing to all the duplexes and apartments off Columbia Drive and elsewhere off Harbison Road, and the town went to garbage. Crime rates soared, property values declined, and school ratings went to crap. But I'm probably a bigot for noticing that with subsidized housing comes a slew of garbage, raising up kids to be lazy, crime-driven, system-milking garbage as well, right? The truth hurts. I know, but it is what it is. Move the Section 8 crap out and fill those apartments with people who want to work, have an education past the 9th grade when they dropped out, abide by laws, can function in society without acting like a damn animal, and all of a sudden watch the crime rate drop. Watch the school ratings go up. Watch home values once again rise. Watch graffiti decline. And watch Irmo again become a decent, safe place to live where women can get out of their cars and parking lots without being raped or assaulted. Red Hebrew Edomite. Look at her, my coworker, bless her. She's been through a lot. I'm glad she's okay. It turns out Rhymes was never at the Walmart that night, nor was she attacked, police said in a news release. Rhymes was booked at the Alvin G. Glenn Detention Center in December, charged with filing a false report and false swearing. Both charges are felonies carrying a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison. Hey, and Barakatah YAHAWASHI shot for that. Damn devil. The mental health impact of blame a black man syndrome. The frequent wrongful accusation of black men ruins lives and communities. As a group, black men remain hugely underprivileged. In fact, their life expectancy remains much lower than the national average, almost a decade lower than white women. Yeah, and we're already at risk. And the white woman, she said, you know what, man, this nigga ain't dropping dead quick enough, man. Let me accuse him. You know, I'm not going to go all into that. But look, black man syndrome. Your brothers can, you know, look it up. The Innocence Project. Well, data from the University of Michigan indicate that black men constitute over 40% of these exonerations, despite making up only 9% of the U.S. population. That's right. You go into it, if Jake actually gets proper legal counsel, what's going to happen? We're going to be exonerated, man. Further analysis indicates that innocent black men are 7 times more likely to be convicted of murder than innocent white men. Likewise, innocent black men are 4 times more likely to be convicted of sexual assault than innocent white men. You know, he's going into it. You know, these different innocence projects. Yeah, the Red Hebrew Edomite. And he's at McGill, which that's pretty much the Canadian equivalent of Harvard, Yale. You see? And this happens all the time, man. The lies they tell. Georgia cop who lied about a black man shooting her is heading to prison. Sherry Hall nearly ruined an innocent man's life. A new video published Thursday underscored the extent to which a now former police officer went to blame a black man of trying to kill her. Sherry Hall was heading to prison for 15 years after claiming she was shot in the abdomen by a black man, 6 feet, 250 pounds, wearing a green shirt and black jogging pants on September 13, 2016. Hall told elaborate lies, sat down for interviews, and falsely accused while Drake and Scott of trying to kill her. He's a damn devil. You see? There is no motive for why she accused him of being the shooter, but we all know it was stone cold racism. Yeah, just the damn devil. You're the damn devil, man. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. Yeah, and who's the accuser of our brethren? You Red Hebrew Edomites. And you've been setting us up for the longest, but guess what? You are falling in that pit. And I'm going to end here through the Spirit. And shalom to all you brothers. Man, it's time to win, man. These devils are through. Everything that you've attempted to do to destroy us is backfired on you. And it continues to backfire. And we get to see it. And Barakatah YAHAWASHI for that. Proverbs 26 and 27. I started at 26. 24. He that dissembleth with his lips and layeth up deceit within him, when he speaketh fair, believe him not. And that's how the Red Hebrew Edomite comes. That's why it tells you in Surah 12, never trust thine enemy. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Yeah, like that devil Northam. Yeah, you know, I'm learning to be more equitable as it pertains to racism. Oh, and I was kicking it with my cousins yesterday. You know, my older cousins, like one of my older cousins. He's up from LA. You know, I didn't pry too much. I mean, he's catching hell down there, and we were just riding. We were just riding around, catching up, so to speak, and the majority of the conversation was how you Red Hebrew Edomites are the devil, man. All right, how you always plotting on us. And really how you hate us because you hate us, man. And it's becoming more and more plain. When he speak of fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. That's the Red Hebrew Edomite. His hatred is covered by deceit. Lies. And then he tries to create a pretext to hate us, man. And you don't have a reason, man. You're the devil. That's why you hate us. You're the devil, and you hate us because you hate us, man. You hate us because of the blessing that we have. Whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. And that's what's happening right now. Everybody is seeing that you read Hebrew Edomites, you're the devil. Yep, the brother Itazawam. Esau is terrified. Shalom to this brother and all you brothers, brother Shaquat, Elder Wamba, all you brothers, man. Yep, Esau is terrified of the penalty behind his history. That's why he plays the blame game. He's not justified in his wickedness. That's right. And he don't have no way out. He has no way out. Hey, and it's so beautiful because he tries to find a way out, and other Edomites are cursing him out. Oh, Ann Coulter, that's the devil. Even she said that Jake deserved reparations. Oh, the civil rights was really what applied to black men, but now it's going to trannies and women and stuff like that. You see? So that's Ann Coulter, man. That's Ann Coulter. So what you Edomites got to say? You don't have a goddamn thing to say. The only thing that you can do is prepare for slavery. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. That's right. And this is happening. We are in that time. All right, you red Hebrew Edomites, you weak, inferior red Hebrew Edomites, you're being exposed for the devil that you are, for being the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. So with that, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashah, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash, the YAHAWASHI Shah for giving me the Rakah Kodash to do this lesson. I pray it was edifying. Shalom to the elect.